Man, I hate how warm it gets in my office.
Get a fan, bitch.
I have a fan. It's still warm. It's like I have all this computer shit just grinding.
I hug you so much, dude. Just pet your face.
All right. We ready to get rolling on this?
No, but let's do it. This is going to be fun. We're both just a hot mess together.
OMG, zombified zealots zigzagging across the Zamboni zone. This is episode 6-7 of the Geekoid podcast. And I know what you're thinking, where the hell were you guys over the last few weeks? And I know you missed us, and I apologize. We took a impromptu summer break so that I could get my life together and Jarrad could move out west. And you know what? He's calling in from the mountains of Colorado. What's happening, brother?
It's good, man.
I mean, you moved out there just to have 100-degree weather and wildfires. So
yeah. So today's the first day of the week that I've been here where I was like, oh, we can actually go outside, do something with the dogs, and I can roll my window down in the car and not feel like I'm breathing in ash and apocalyptic, whatever.
Which is
the whole
awesome.
Western side of the country is on fire. From Washington, Oregon, Montana, Utah, it's all on fire, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about that.
No, that's weird. I'm also in my new guest room and do new desk setup.
It's looking really sharp, I gotta say. So
yeah,
kudos.
Thanks Apple for all of this.
But it is a little bit familiar too.
Is it?
Well, I mean, just the layout a little bit. I mean, not from the garage, obviously, but when you did record. But I miss all the Joker stuff.
It's in a box waiting to buy a house. And then the box will then appear and then it will open. Yeah, remember, I've got a Lego Game Boy that could be, part of my back.
So we have to wait for the house for the full build out.
Yeah, this is like a collage of what we have now. Mine or plus what we purchased at Gen Con. A matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then
those are numbers,
games.
Correct? Oh, kind of games.
things that are behind me. Yeah, there is one Joker. There's one little baby Joker way up top.
But maybe we kick it off with a in memoriam. Is that the saying?
Yeah, because we're really late to that game.
Yeah, but we do want to. I don't know, say goodbye to Sam Neill, who tragically passed in recent weeks. I mean, probably most well known for his role as Alan Grant in Jurassic Park, but really a prodigious actor across decades. And, he's going to be missed.
Yeah, super. 78. He passed away July 13th. Lucky number 13. At the age of 78. In Sydney, Australia.
Wow, it's exactly a month ago. Wow, we are really late.
We're really late, yeah. We talked about it twice, and then it was like Comic-Con, Gen Con happened, and then we haven't recorded anything. Speaking of Gen Con.
Yes. What an eventful few days. If you weren't following along.
God.
The ceiling caved in.
Yeah, Google that. Go onto YouTube, and there are lots of videos. I would say the best one is a company called Wormwood, who specialize in very, very high-end business desks and board game tables and D&D accoutrement. Super high-end, beautiful stuff. You would love their business desk because I love their business desk. Standing, sitting, it's gorgeous. But he did a great video. It was great. We had Katie and her 3 brothers who had never been to Gen Con, all 4 of them at the same time. And they were all doing their own thing, doing D&D stuff or doing Warhammer stuff. And then you had Evan, who's the second youngest with his 14-year-old daughter, Ava, and it's her first time, and she loves Pokemon and Disney Lorcana and, anything that's fluffy and anime stuff. She really digs anime stuff, and it was all there for her. And so he spent a lot of money on stuff. But, again, what's behind me, we did too. And it was fun. There were a few setbacks. There were a few surprises. I did not realize that D&D, Hasbro, all those people were going to spend a ton of money because they're about to launch their full subscription and really get people hyped for some of the new stuff that's coming down the pike. And one of them is they rented out this entire building, this historic art theater center, a block and a half away from the convention center. And I think it was 6 floors. And I didn't know about it because I'm not D&D, but I would have been there for the nerdism because they decorated every floor like you were in a different realm of within D&D. And the cast members, it was very like Universal or Disney. Like the cast were all in costume and in character, and you would walk around and you'd be a bard or a barbarian or a fighter or whatever, and you would be going through quests with the rest of your crew, which were all strangers, so you got to know them. It was fascinating. They spent so much money. There's a 11 to 12 minute drone show, and downtown Indy's not small, but it's not big. The drone show is over the entire section of immediate downtown Indianapolis, showing just all kinds of beholders and heroes and villains and Vecnas and Liliths and words of D&D. I missed it. But maybe a good thing I did miss it because there was a huge storm that rolled through, broke the roof of the convention center, and started flooding different sections of the demo area in the exhibit hall. But stories and reports from my friends were strangers who were there to buy goods or to play games would immediately take coats off, blankets, and start covering anything that was cardboard to then allow exhibitors to move their product out of the floods that were pouring down from the ceiling.
So you're telling
garages were flooding.
This was not like San Francisco where just mad looting started happening.
No. Again, geeks be geeks. And,
generally good people, the geeks are.
Generally good people. Yeah. And we got to see a lot of our friends we only see once a year because, they live all over Canada and, Hong Kong and LA and whatever. So we got to have lunch with some of them and dinners with them. And, if you go to my Facebook page, it is very public. You can just Google my name.
Jarrad has a public Facebook page? It's so weird.
I know. Yeah, well, I don't post that often, but I did for this. And so it's very quick, but there are some beautiful pictures of some beautiful people.
Awesome. Well,
and then, of course, our Gen Con Hall.
So what was your favorite part of Gen Con?
Because I was talking about lunches, Social Cantina, it's one of my favorite taco places that Indianapolis has, and also maybe the best, if not one of the best, jalapeno margaritas. I adore that place. But other than that,
I was about to say, your favorite part of Gen Con is a restaurant that has nothing to do with Gen Con.
It is. I mean, every Thursday for the last 3 years, we've gone there. So it is part of that. But for me, it was really seeing my friends, seeing, so I can't name them all. So many good people. And I really enjoyed it. And it was great seeing just her family all together and doing their own thing. I'm not into D&D. I'm not into Warhammer, but it's part of nerd culture. I'm not into RPGs and
100%
tabletop miniature games. I did stand in line for an hour for a game, and then Saturday, which is 2 days later, they had more in stock. And so I could have but FOMO, baby, FOMO.
FOMO's real.
Katie, there's a game right here behind me called The Game Makers by Bezier Games. I would say this was one of the big to-dos because this is a very big, very heavy, like 30-pound box of cardboard and plastic. And Bezier spent the last 3+ years working with over 200 other board gamers and manufacturing company, Panda Manufacturing, to develop a game that the theme is making board games. And in this, you are helping control Panda Manufacturing of the process leading to then the shipment back to the States or wherever, Brazil, Canada. And the cards all have artwork from other publishers, from Stonemaier, from AEG, from Capstone. And so
I do remember you telling me about this one. It sounded really cool.
Katie got out of that line before I did for the game that was still there Saturday. Crazy. Yeah, the reviews have been funny because when people are talking about like strategy, what should I do? They're like, no, I want to build Scythe. And so they don't even care like what their strategy is. They just have the card. It's one of their favorite games. And now they just in the game want to make that game. So I think
Can you blame them? I don't think you can. I mean, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like, I don't care about the points. See, I made this game. I made my favorite game. So that's cute. I'm looking behind me.
I just got to ask, are you just completely going to omit the fact that you got to spend some time with the Matt Dinnerman himself?
Oh, that's...
I mean, I am burning through Dungeon Crawler Carl right now.
So Matt Dinnerman and Jeff Hayes were huge at Comic-Con. Those two got on a plane right after that and flew to Indianapolis, and they were in Gen Con because they have partnered with Renegade Games, who's also headquartered in California. Renegade has an RPG that is out or will be out very soon. Tabletop RPG, TT RPG. And then they adapted a pretty complicated solo / co-op game called Unstoppable, and they adapted it to work with the DCC theme and storyline. And so Matt was there to sign autographs and do things. And so was Jeff Hayes, who at the end of the day, there's always an announcement. Hey, 30 minutes, exhibitor hall will close. You can go out through the Marriott and do the other events that are in Hilton and Marriott and all the other hotels and buildings that are surrounding and connected. But this time it was Jeff Hayes doing the various voices, the computer or Odetta. It was great. It was really cool. And then
that's awesome.
Matt was walking the backside, probably trying to not get noticed too much, but he went through Artist Alley, which are where other artists, the lit RPG, book writers and Magic the Gathering artists that you're like, I have that card and there's a print and you can buy it for $100. And there he was. And I went, holy shit, that's Matt Dinnerman. And so I winked at Katie to pull out her phone really fast and got to ask him a couple questions about what he thought from, Comic-Con to here and Gen Con and seeing board games and how you can adapt these different IPs from comic books and cartoons and TV shows and movies to board games. And he was extremely fascinated because he is more of a video game, TV, and book writer. So he was kind of enamored and gave him many more ideas. So
which
was great.
He does have a number of board games, if I'm not, or he's got a few different games, right?
No, not right now. He only has 2. Let's do Renegade right now. Right now, he's focused on the TV show.
Is there a video game in the works?
There is a video game in the talks. It is not in the works. It's in the talks. And
it's in the talks.
Yeah, I watched every single Comic-Con interview that him and Jeff were a part of. I did not see Jeff, by the way. Other people, Facebook and online, got to see Jeff. I did not see Jeff. I saw Matt, which was really cool. So, There are talks, and that's all he would say. He wants a video game, I think, really bad because he is a pretty hardcore video gamer.
God, it'd be fun. I'd like to. I'm thinking
Dude,
through
what
even
book are you
making
on
it
right now? Are you on
I'm only on book
3?
2.
Are you at the? Yeah, okay. So you haven't hit the train. I would. By the way, this is my tip for everybody because I hear this every time. Book 3 is the train book, is what I call it, and it's this interconnected thing that, spoiler, is a design for something that's much larger, universal, even. Hint, hint. Galaxy spanning. That's a really hard hint. There's Google images of what it is, and some people have even done 3D renders, which is really cool because it is a little 3-dimensional. But if you want to like track where they are in the book in the third, just go with the story. It's fine.
I'm gonna fly through
listened
this
to it
because
I've listened to it 3 times and I give 0 shits. The story is the best.
Okay. So I'll be in book 3. You know,
listen, always trying to have full. Your hour-long drive is atrocious, but
it's more than an hour at this point because they've now closed the exit that I used to get on and off the highway. So I have to backtrack in the opposite direction. So I'm now commuting 2.5 to 3 hours a day if I'm lucky.
What?
Yeah.
You did not say that to me off air. Wow. One way?
No, that's both ways.
Oh, okay. So like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so this gives you ample opportunity to just turn it up full blast.
Well, no, I like to preserve my hearing for my elder years. Sorry, my dad's hearing is going, and I'm like, I got to think about how to preserve mine 40 years from now. But I digress.
Yes, I saw Matt Dinnerman at a Gen Con in Indianapolis, which will never happen again, I'm sure.
You never know. Never say never.
I saw Will Wheaton, and I was excited about that 10 years ago, which he might start showing up because there's rumors that
wouldn't that be a fun crossover?
And Felicia Day are going to restart another version of Tabletop, which was one of the coolest tabletop shows. It absolutely helped me get into the board game industry.
All right. Well, let's keep this train moving.
We're just giving you all kinds of information, folks.
Yeah. Man, I could talk about Brand New Day because my wife and I, we went and saw the new Spider-Man movie on our 6th anniversary. And it was really, really good. It was probably the best
the hype
Spider-Man.
Is correct?
The hype is justified, yeah. It was just a really good movie.
Dude, so there was somebody online who was like, he got out of the theater and he was like, man, this is so good. I'm going to get another ticket, which A, I've never heard of before. And then
I've heard of people do
B,
that.
He saw the same thing and he's in LA. So he's got multiple theaters to go to. They were all booked up because everybody else had the same idea. I've never heard of that. Again, 8.1, a movie in general, not only MCU, but just in general. And then B, like this movie.
Yeah.
I want to go see it, dude.
You should.
Holy God. What is it? What do you think it is that is making people be like, God, I got to go see this again?
I think it's...
I got to bring my mom or my sister or whatever.
I think it's really just the culmination of all the different elements being executed at a really high level. Like when you have something like this, it's everything from wardrobe to the music to the set execution to the editing. The acting's obviously a big part of it, and all of the actors are like in their prime.
And the cast, I love this A right now. I'm in an A-B right now. One half it's the cast, but then also the other half are then your superhero characters. Like I've heard, like, why is he in here? And then he's in there and you're like, for the fun, for just the fun. And it's good. It doesn't distract from the story. It just adds fun.
Yeah. So all of that, and the story is really good. And they do a really good job of introducing this new part of the MCU that will become the X-Men, and they don't oversell it. They don't overplay too much. I think the one
I have a question for you.
The one critique that kind of bummed me out is that there wasn't more of a lead up to Doomsday.
Oh no. I did not suspect. Well, you saw the post credit, right?
Yeah, which was also a letdown.
Right. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more than that. I knew there was a credit. No. I didn't spoil it for myself, and when all I saw was this was that, I was like, that was it. Okay.
This is speculation, though. These speculations are pretty.
We're making up words. Cool.
Speculations. Speculation.
It's a special speculation.
Should hear how I used to say authenticator. Thanks, Blizzard. Back in the day. He's not going to be in Doomsday, but if you guys anyone has read Secret Wars, which is technically, I think, older than Doomsday, comic book wise. He's a huge part of that. Now, he's not the main character, but he is a main 10. So that's one. The other part is Jean Grey so if anyone's read Doomsday in Battle Earth, where Battle World, where Doomsday brings in all these different worlds into one weird kind of D&D into different realms. Kind of actually it reminds me of Ravenloft, the guy who doesn't like D&D. I don't like playing it, but I like everything D&D does. Ravenloft is broken down into like 20 different realms of what ifs, basically. And this is Battle World is a bunch of what ifs. What if this happened? What if that happened? X-Men are a part of that, but it's a different, like 616 or 6767 or whatever. And then Jean Grey is a part of whatever, I guess we are. So I don't know how they're going to tweak that, but I do know in Battle World, it all gets broken up, and then there is kind of like a little merging of little bits and pieces into one ring to rule them all. So,
but yeah, you should absolutely go see it. You should bring Katie. I mean,
I want to see it real bad. Maybe we'll see it this weekend.
You don't have children, so you should be able to.
True. That's true. Well, Katie's in Austin, Texas, doing her orientation for her new job. So she'll be back Friday evening. So
a la mañana.
So Saturday.
You know what you could do? You could go see the movie, do a matinee, and then go to the South Park taco joint.
Oh, Casa Bonita. Yeah, dude. Yes. I love it so much. Casa Bonita. Yes. Oh, how far away are you from me?
I don't really think you're close. I don't think you're too far.
No, I'm not. That's really funny, bro.
All right. Well, we know what Jarrad's weekend plans are. Let's keep this party going.
I just gotta cross downtown. If I can cross downtown,
yeah. Do we want to talk a little bit about Doomsday since we're on the Marvel train at the moment? Because
I think so. It's a good transition. We're already talking about Battle World and the leaked trailer. Holy God. And it is Battle World. It was everything. I was like, there it is. But, I'm skipping ahead. I'm so excited. So originally in Battle World, well, it's always been Doom and Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. I think, even though it's Sue talking like she did, also in the comic book, very exciting. I think the person he's angry with and wants to steal is not going to be Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four family. I think it's Chris Evans and it's Steve Rogers, Captain America, because we haven't seen a lot about Steve's kid, but that was the first teaser trailer. It's good.
How much of that Jack Daniels have you had?
Not enough. We've been gone too long. I gotta get my podcast skills back going, which is probably good because I'm gonna be talking to strangers again very soon. That was one little 30-second trailer, and then they've kind of skipped around it. They've shown a lot of Chris Hemsworth and Thor. I think their story to work with the MCU and who are your big characters, because Fantastic Four is a new movie, Reed Richards' new movie, Storm and all them.
I didn't personally find the Fantastic Four movie all that good.
Oh, like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Like a 6, 7.
Okay, 6, 7. I mean, 7's good. 6 it could use some improvement.
Yeah, but like it, I was really hoping
6.5
for something a little higher. I found
you're
the
not the
story a little bit lacking.
Is that what it is? Maybe because you're not the only person who thought that. They were like, "Oh, it's ... good."
Yeah, so we'll see.
So that's my theory, but
I also just in this day and age don't find the Fantastic Four characters all that interesting. I don't like the costumes. The one guy, he's stretchy, and the other,
that's the main guy.
The other guy just lights on fire and flies around. Like they seem very. Like I know they're kind of like progenitor
1960s
level comic book characters, and they were part of the OG cast, but they just don't seem cool.
No, I agree. I could totally see that. What makes them cool is that over, I feel like hundreds of years since 1960, like they've been embedded in the background. They're the Illuminati, which is also a huge part of that world. So, but yes, as far as powers go, whatever. Their kids' powers are way crazier.
I don't know nothing about that.
Ooh, one kid can create a whole galaxy or a whole universe, and then he can just snap it shut.
That sounds like
nuts.
AI.
Like, they kind of made that kid, and then they went, ooh, we don't know what to do with this kid. And they haven't really talked about that kid for many comic books because they're like, ooh, this kid's too much. But Doomsday, what do you want to say about Doomsday?
Oh, we've seen now the costumes of the Latvian witches.
Very nice.
There's a lot of speculation as to who they are. And it's a cult. You know what? I'm a fan of cults. I hope to start one someday. So this might be a template.
You have to. You're beginning that process right now.
If you like arms trafficking and you're into comic books, I'll drop a sign-up link after the show for my cult that I'm spinning up. And
yeah.
But back to the Latvian witches. It looks. I think the speculation is really we're going to see Scarlet Witch as the red one. We're going to see, I can't even remember what the character's name of the purple one, but it's played by...
Oh, Agatha all along?
No, okay, so that's an interesting one, but I don't think that's going to be her. I was thinking the character played by Charlize Theron, who only showed up in the post-credit scene of whatever Into the Madness. Cytheria.
I'll look it up while you're talking.
Okay, yeah. So that's 2, and then there's the third one, which was the Green Witch, which I'm less confident about who that one could be. I mean, maybe that's an Agatha all along, and we get...
Did they show different colors of...
Yeah,
there's little followers.
Yeah, they showed all the costumes, each one individually now.
Charlize Theron plays Sorceress Clea.
Clea, yes, thank you. I knew it started with C.
That's pretty good though.
And then the green one is I don't know who that could potentially be. There's that in my mind is the weakest association. And then there's also another male costume, which the speculation has been around Doctor Doom, because it looks like it could be a mask for either Bullseye or Doctor Strange and his third eye.
Doctor Strange in Battleworld is his right-hand man.
Yeah. So I don't think it's Bullseye. That'd be a poor casting. Well, no, it'd probably actually be a decent casting for a dodgeball team, but poor casting for everything else.
Well, that's really funny.
But yeah, no. Who do they think the Green Witch is?
I don't know. These are
I
this
thought
is
you were
new for
looking it
me.
up. Come on.
I'm looking it up, but I'm looking at the images first because I didn't realize. I've only seen the green, and I didn't realize that there is an orange, a purple. I'm looking at them now, and they're really close to being the same. There's so like.
Oh yes. So one of the theories is potentially Sylvie, the female Loki variant. I mean, we know we're going to see Loki as the guy keeping the multiverse together, and that's going to get disrupted.
He's in the pre-art poster. He's way in the background in the center of the poster.
So Sylvie, that's who I think it's going to be. There's also Rio Vidal, aka Death from Agatha All Along, played by Aubrey Plaza. So
that's right. I love Aubrey Plaza.
That's got some potential, but I don't know.
That. Black, green, orange, purple. Black, Doctor Strange. Yes. Green, Death, Rio Vidal. Yes. Orange. The Ancient One? Are they going to bring back? I mein, they could. So Ancient One.
Man, they could do anything.
That's no joke, dude. But the actress she's actually a fashion model, but she was in Constantine. I love her. I think she's brilliant. Lovely.
Are you talking about the woman from the original Doctor Strange?
No, Constantine. Yes, in the original Doctor Strange.
Okay,
yes. Yeah. She's very skinny.
I can't remember her name. She actually has hair in real life.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. Yeah. And then purple, Agatha. Yeah. I could, Ancient One and Aubrey Plaza. Yeah. But the Ancient One, that's interesting, man. I know Doctor Strange is he's such a huge character in that story. What a great story. By the way, everybody, it would be a lot but I'm sure now
I might need to sign up for the Marvel subscription to read some comics.
They may have a condensed where they, put all the major parts so you don't have to read every 200 different.
Yeah. It would. What I need is a guide to say, this is what you need to read.
It's so good. Ancient One. That's cool. All right, you got me on that. What else do you got? That would be cool if you get me with something else.
Well, we have some castings for X-Men.
Yeah. Are we a little early for this, or are we just trying to keep the hype train going? Because right now, Doomsday and Spider-Man have got new energy flowing from Marvel, and they're like, oh, people are excited for us again.
The heart of the MCU beats yet again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Chris Evans and
well, yeah, I mean, the OGs are definitely helping. I'm still curious how they're going to make RDJ work. I'm sure they've got some clever reveal. But it's gonna be hopefully a big payoff. If it's not, the movie's going to tank.
Somebody joked that he was like, "Well, I got an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in Oppenheimer," and so it's like, "Well, I played Tony in Marvel, and I was a big hit. I was a something." He goes, "Can I get an Oscar in a comic book movie where I come back into the universe, play a different character with an accent and a mask over my face so you only see my eyeballs?" And I don't know how many people online have been like, that sounds like Downey.
It sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do this. So, hey, I'm here for it.
Yeah. But X-Men, do you got who was cast as Cyclops? The new Cyclops, because we are seeing...
well, Sadie's...
we know Sadie Sink is playing Phoenix.
Yeah, but she's like, what is she, 22? And so they're going for a new cast.
Yeah, a young cast in particular.
They're looking for the next 10 years. We're going to be following X-Men for the next 10 years like we followed Avengers for the last 10 plus. And so Sadie Sink, Jean Grey, Kit Connor? I don't know the guy.
I have no idea.
It's a whole new generation.
Yeah.
Like, this is where all of a sudden the young kids go, I can't listen to this pop culture bullshit podcast anymore. You guys don't know who Kit Connor is. Ugh, get out of here. So unfortunately I don't. Sadie Sink I do, because Stranger Things was and is amazing.
Yeah. But we do have...
here's my question for you. How was she? How did she, not being in Netflix, not being under those two brothers who directed, but being Marvel, much bigger, being a bad guy, but then not.
She crushed it.
Yeah.
She crushed it. I think the struggle is going...
keeping her secret.
No. From an acting standpoint, is we're going to have to watch her progress, grow, age, and so to step into a more adult role, I think is going to be... I mean, there's some pretty adult themes with her and Cyclops. And was it Cyclops?
Yeah. That was her boyfriend to husband to then
and
father
and Wolverine.
2 children. Yeah, and Wolverine. That's right.
So
yeah,
we'll
all go over that all over again.
Yeah. So it's figuring out how she as an actress started from an early age, being a child actor now to being an adult actor, and navigating that whole arc and doing it in a way that is compelling and convincing for audiences. I think
it'll work. She's at the right age,
and she's a phenomenal actress as well. So I'm not worried about it, but it would be challenging
even as
anybody.
She's portraying a late teenager, somewhere between 16 and 18, so not that far off from her. Like, did she capture the idea of like a teenage?
Yeah, absolutely. She acted. She sold teenager. I'm interested to see beyond teenager, because you know me, I'm sick of kids.
They may do the Harry Potter teenage drama, little Robert Pattinson. They all did it, and they were all in their 20s, portraying like they were 16.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for her role. She's gonna crush it, I feel. And then I think probably my favorite new casting is Samara Weaving as Emma Frost.
Yeah, can you tell me, because I did not look it up, so you do know who she is? I do not. Yes, no?
Samara Weaving?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She's blonde bombshell. She's been in a number of movies, most recently, I think, Ready or Not 2. So she's got acting and action chops. And I mean, Rachel and I both think she's awesome on screen. She's been in a number of movies that are mostly fun, high energy, and you know, I think she's going to play an incredible Emma Frost. I mean, if you think about the character that she's going to be playing, it's kind of controlling, manipulative, deceptive, a little bit of sexy in there too. I think she's got the look, and I think she's got the acting pedigree and the experience, and she's gonna crush it.
Margot kind of look to her, doesn't she? For at least
her and Margot could play sisters in a movie, I think.
Dude, thank you.
I think they might actually be playing sisters in a movie.
That would be amazing. Like, looking at her, I'm like, is this like a younger Margot Robbie? Like, it's really impressive.
But yeah, I mean, you think of Emma Frost, and
I like coming from Ready or Not 2. It's, gory and in your face and whatever. And Emma Frost is, yeah, you are correct. She's that weird, like, Game of Thrones and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Never thought of it that way, but that is pretty good.
put together. And at least, because, folks, she was a bad guy. With high fashion, if you combine it with those two. Yeah, she was part of the Hellfire Club, which was when I was around in 96, 94, 96 to 98, 99. Like, the Hellfire Club was the kind of the penultimate bad guy, like Sinister Six for Spider-Man. It was the Hellfire Club for the X-Men. And badass, like, holy God, the coolest, like, mix of villains. And they swapped a few people out, but Emma was always, like, lead. And they were very, like, a highfalutin, almost kind of post-Victorian kind of vibe, which is why some of her outfits have a weird... they better hire the Bridgerton costume designers, because that would no joke. I do not like Bridgerton, but their costume design of like mixing postmodern 2025, artistic style to then a very 16th century is crazy. Their costume design is so good. Story is not my thing. If they did it, wow. I'm super excited. This is great. Thanks.
Yeah. So I think that's all we have for new X-Men castings.
I do. The only thing because it's been a minute, folks, so I just wanted to, if we haven't, if we've said this, sorry. If we have not, cool, congratulations. One of my big things was Carter, Steve Rogers' wife, going to be in Doomsday. She's confirmed. Haley Atwell will be in Doomsday. I don't know how big or how much. We just know, period, she's in there. Could be 30 seconds. She's in there. And that's all I care about, because I think she's a great actress and a really cool character that she brought to life. Just, man, she brought it to life, I think, more than the comics ever did. And in the folks who wrote her character. Black Panther 3, if we hadn't said this, David Johnson, who I wanted to get with you about, Alien Romulus, I'm too afraid to watch.
I don't think you can take the casting or his role, because he plays an android and he's stiff as bricks.
That was a big to-do for everybody, that, like, if he can play that role, he could do
almost anything.
T'Challa's son.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that casting. I will absolutely go see that movie.
And the fan theory right now is because he is in his 20s, and we saw the kid when he was like somewhere between 7 and, I don't think he was a teenager, 9.
Is that he got blipped?
Again, well, it could be another multiverse / putting the multiverse all into one planet. And so it's a segment from a different realm where he is young, but then we can have our little cast and crew take him on and, grow him up to be
Black
Panther. But I've not seen the movie because fuck that. How was he? Like, that can't be an easy role. He's the first African-American to play an android too. And within the Alien universe, they've all been English or fast.
Sorry,
big.
That was a weird call out I feel to make, but
I don't think so. They've all been white guys.
That's true. It's not like there's been that many androids. Classic. There's been like 3, 4, maybe.
Oh yeah, I forgot the girl from which I watched. I just watched Badlands.
Technically not an alien movie. I mean, we can dive into it. I'm more than happy to, but we got plenty of other stuff to talk about. I'll cut it short and say he does a really good job. And I've watched the movie 3 times now, I think. And
really,
you
are a baller.
I like disgusting, horrific things. What can I say?
I think this was the most horrific of all the alien movies.
It calms me down from my day to day.
Stop. There is more horrible things out there.
Maybe I'll put it on tonight. I don't know.
I have created it. I go to sleep to it.
But yeah, he does a fantastic job. I don't want to ruin anything, but the difficulty with his role in that movie too is that he plays effectively 2 different characters, because he starts out as this android and then he gets reprogrammed and he has to act completely differently to the entire cast around him.
Oh, and really?
Yeah.
I might now watch the movie just to see that. Oof, it's going to freak me out. Do you think this is the scariest of all the alien movies?
No.
Which one do you think's the scariest?
I
This might make me feel better because I have seen all of them except for this one.
I think
Prometheus.
I think the
got a
OG
little
Alien
freaky.
is the scariest. And I mean, this one.
They don't show gore in that one because 70s they didn't do that.
No,
They did more
I mean, they still had
Spielbergian.
the chest bursting and
That's
the
true.
frickin' through the head and whatnot. Like, there's still some gore. I mean, there's not a lot of gore in this one. It's mostly just explosions and acid. So
Okay. All right. So they did. Spielberg was and still is to this day huge about it. Like, he doesn't show you the shark eating. You just hear the screams and you watch the people watching the incident happening because of that time period. But then Spielberg, like, it's kind of like his thing. And so he does. Cameron does similar, which he did one in the Alien movies. So I was curious if, like, they kept to that cinema style. God, screw me.
but yeah, I would definitely highly recommend
Do you
it.
think he'll be okay? I'm not gonna say good because there was one and it was such a huge
No,
thing.
I
But
think
do you think he'll be?
I think he'll be more than okay.
That's great.
I saw the casting and I was immediately excited. I think he's part of this next generation of actors, and he's going to carry this role probably for
At least 10 years.
decently long time. We say 10 years. The rate at which things are changing and happening, it's a little difficult to forecast farther than 2 to 3 years at this point, I would say.
That does remind me. So, like, they announced Ryan Gosling, which I think we talked about in the last episode.
No, I don't think we did.
Oh, okay. Well, Ryan Gosling, who
Beep, 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 beep,
dude,
beep, beep, beep. Newsflash.
Well, I totally missed this because everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, Ryan's been wanting this role forever." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
he was the one who pitched Marvel on it, apparently, which blows my mind.
Yeah, I missed that one. So Ryan Gosling, who, again, Midnight Suns, other than X-Men and Spider-Man. So if you were a kid of the mid 90s or even, I would say mid 90s to then late 2000s, there were two major comic books you read all their variants, and it was X-Men, all the different X-Men, and it was Spider-Man. And there were some great storylines. Spider-Man got a little weird, but that's fine. But Age of Apocalypse came out of that, which was phenomenal. During that time period, too, if you were more on the spooky side, which I am, though not super horrific, as some people, there was multiple kind of their dark horror, and again, air quotes, it wasn't like that horrific Marvel stuff. They then decided that wouldn't it be cool if we did a team comic book, and it was called Midnight Suns, not SON, SUN.
So
And
think
it was
vampires and people from hell and witches.
ghosts. Yeah, it was DC's version with Constantine and other magical and supernatural. And Ryan Gosling, for years, allegedly, which now correct, has been wanting to do Ghost Rider, and he wants to do the original OG, because there were two Ghost Riders. There's actually now 5, but back in the day there were 2. And Johnny Blaze is the OG original, and then the ghost of the spirit of vengeance, which is Ghost Rider, did go into another being, which then he took over 100% control. Johnny Blaze still had some of the abilities, kind of like a DC's Constantine, and he carries a very big boomstick, the shotgun that shoots hellfire, and he wants to ride again on a motorcycle and do Johnny Blaze, and they announced it, and he's 45, which is why I bring it up. So this will not be a 10-year thing, but as a kid,
he looks pretty good for 45, and
he looks
look at Brad
great
Pitt,
for 45,
60 whatever, and he could sell me for 45.
I'm not saying poo poo. I'm super excited, but if we're talking like they're getting a cast for the X-Men for the next 10 years, so that by the time they're 30 or 40, they'll be okay. Midnight Suns is not going to run very long. I'm just excited that they're still trying to do something because of Blade thing and Kevin Feige apologized.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. When you think about the Avengers and the MCU, and if you want to really drive success for these ensemble movies, you usually have to have one well-known anchor, at least, maybe two, and then
two would be good, I think.
Add on some lesser-known new and upcoming actors like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. Like, they were relatively new when Avengers kicked off, and like RDJ, like because he was successful in the first Iron Man movie, was able to be that anchor for that ensemble cast. But now we're talking about Midnight Suns, which is an entirely new ensemble cast. And you get the star power of Ryan Gosling, who has just been killing it.
Dude, even before Hail Mary, like, you have a plethora of movies that he has been so enamored. Like, people just love him. Like, even Ken in Barbie. Like, he was unbelievable. And he's totally in with Marvel because we still have Star Wars Starfighter. I'm really
forgot about that.
Really, this is the first Star Wars movie in a long time. I'm gonna say it. I don't even know if I care if it's crap. I kind of love Starfighter and Ryan Gosling in Star Wars. So I think I add to you, like, throwing Gosling in there, and he's been promoting this for years. This is great. I'm really excited, man.
Yeah.
Really excited.
It's a good move. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Midnight Suns come to fruition.
It was one of my favorite comic books. It was my favorite comic book. It's
not a great video game. I tried to play it. I couldn't get through the first 2 hours.
The comic book is just so good. It had Blade, Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, who is another character. I don't remember because you hardly ever saw him. So it was Ghost Rider. And I think that was mainly those three.
We just got to call out that the last person to play Ghost Rider was Nicolas Cage.
He was also supposed to be Superman. Like, the dude is good enough. He's been in a lot of... He was Spider-Man Noir. Like, Nicolas Cage, you haven't died. But within comic books, like, dude, VIP. I love you. Midnight Suns, comic book, comic. Come on, Gemini. There it is. Oh, in Doctor Strange. I knew it. So you got Blade, Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, and Danny Ketch. That's who I forgot. Morbius. That is right. Dude, there's no way.
Jared Leto show up in any more movies? Yeah, probably not.
So, because Sony wanted to do the whole villain universe. But yes, Morbius was a huge part of it. Hannibal King, Frank Drake, Jennifer Kale, Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell.
Still haven't watched that yet.
And then Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, and Elsa Bliss. Oh man, if they bring Mark Spector / also one of the greatest actors to come back as Moon Knight, I can't remember his name right now, but I bet you do, Eric.
Really?
Give it to me.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, that would be so great.
No, I've heard that there's talks to have him reprise his role in some upcoming thing, maybe even as early as Doomsday or Secret Wars. But I don't know. That would be super cool to see. I really enjoyed Moon Knight and Oscar Isaac's role as that character.
It was one of my.
It was a fun series.
I think it was my favorite, man. Other than, what they did with Scarlet Witch, that was really, really good. But Moon Knight,
Infinity Vision coming soon.
Vision Quest,
yeah. Infinity Vision
with White Vision. That hasn't been done since 1990 something. So that'll be really
interesting.
Fun to see.
It'll be interesting to see how it ties into everything else as well.
Dude, White Vision is a huge, huge character. It was so huge again, they had to almost implode him and make him into Vision again. Like, it's a big deal. Like, I'm really excited to see. I don't remember him in Battleworld. I think I do remember him in Secret Wars. So that'll be really, really neat.
All right.
Did you hear?
Okay.
Did you hear they're going to re-release Infinity War and Endgame, but they're going to do the George Lucas Star Wars treatment and
extra scenes. They're releasing it in their new quote unquote Infinity Vision.
Because they couldn't get IMAX. That's why.
Well, you can't brand it IMAX if it's not shot on IMAX. So surprisingly, when we went to go see the new Spider-Man, they had retrofitted the quote unquote Extreme Theater into an IMAX theater and completely changed the layout and seating and everything. So,
oh, really? You can do that?
Well, I think they literally raised the roof of the theater to make more room for the screen, because it was a wide format and now it was definitely the 4/3 format. So I was just blown away, and as a result I chose the wrong seats in the theater, so I was kind of bummed about that.
I always choose middle.
Well, I chose middle, but I was too far back because based on where they were originally it would have been much closer. So they completely ripped out all the seats, put in new seats, and there's fewer anyway.
Well, I would do a Marvel bullseye. I would hit for the bullseye of whatever that center seat is, front, back, side to side. I would choose middle.
Okay. Anyway, you totally wrecked my train of thought. Son of a bitch.
But it was good. They did a lot of work because
they retrofitted the theater, and I don't know if it qualifies as this Infinity Vision. I can't remember what the qualifications are, but I don't think I haven't seen any theaters branded as being Infinity Vision. So I think it's just really a marketing term, but maybe it'll be shown in IMAX theaters. I don't know.
I hope so.
Anyway,
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool showed up in a gray costume. Let's skip over that.
That's a famous costume, bro. But all right.
Yeah, X-Force, blah, 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 blah. But there's no news. We're at an hour and 10 minutes. We got to keep moving. I want to talk about AI.
We all want to talk about AI, Eric.
After the 3 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks that we were off, nothing happened until this week.
You know what?
Really weird.
I haven't got a chance to talk about any of this shit because my best friend and I have been busy doing other shit. So, sorry, Karen. So, I'm excited that I get to nerd out with somebody, and then other people, while they're driving to work, go, these two idiots. They're cute.
That's a very apt description of us.
I think so. All right, let's move to co-founder of firm hacked by rogue AI, OpenAI models. And that...
You want to go back that far?
Yeah! I think it's fascinating.
It's a bit
whoops.
It's a bit of a nothing burger, in my opinion. No, I shouldn't say that. Okay, so let me rewind and just kind of set the stage for what happened.
And we record audio.
So
Eric states,
OpenAI was testing one of their new frontier models. I can't remember exactly which one, but it's an unreleased model, I believe. And they basically, when they do the testing, they effectively tell it to try and escape the boundary conditions. So they have this model running on this hardware, and they're like, hey, go and try and, I don't know, escape and reconstitute yourself in another computer or something. I'm sure that's not exactly what they tell it, but let's just
humans are dumb. If that's correct, we are stupid.
So
idiots.
What had happened was it hacked into this thing called Hugging Face, which is basically a repository for existing AI models, and it's widely
big.
Used. It's rather large.
It's a horrible title, but it is a big company.
Yes, it's kind of a big deal, and so it kind of escaped and hacked Hugging Face, and the Hugging Face people were like, what's going on? Let's use these Chinese models, and they reached out to the American counterparts, and OpenAI was able to figure out, that's our model. It kind of escaped a little bit. Let's bring it back, put it back in the pen, and go bad model. And
Hugging Face's algorithms found OpenAI's algorithm,
and it's
went,
interesting.
You shouldn't be here.
What had happened is that the previous versions of the model had actually stood up a message board so that it could communicate with itself in future iterations. and leave notes and hints. Be like, oh, you're trying to do this? Go here and do that.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs. Or a cookie trail.
So it's getting scarily smarter. That it's a ability to evade us at early stages.
Let me restate that you were like, oh, this is a nothing thing. And then now you, thank you, you jackass. Yeah.
So yeah,
yes.
These more advanced
this is why
models,
I want to bring it up.
Claude Mythos and OpenAI's newest version, like they are a bit of a security risk, but hopefully having this technology open and available to more people will allow them to strengthen their own security so that none of this happens in the future. That is my hope. That is the hope of, I think, researchers and policymakers, that because we have access to advanced AI, the hardening of the internet will produce a calcified web that the AI cannot penetrate. I don't know. I'm kind of grasping at adjective straws.
Well, I think that's what we are at this point. But I do. That's especially after this happening. We don't hear it, publicly, but it's happening right now. Of like, you do this to us again, I'm gonna corporately kill you.
It's like the model's gone rogue. So, I mean, the only person you can really blame is the creator of the model, right?
The only person I can actually blame is human society thinking this was a great idea. And then a bunch of idiots going like, let's do more because it's God, without the restraints. And then this is the first one where it's like, let's add to another restraint. So I think
achievement.
You've
unlocked a civilization-ending AI model.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, read or listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Better if you read it or listen to it. So, but yeah, in this past week, like last couple days, actually, Grok, Elon's AI model, they released a 4.6 version, which is really pushing up against the frontiers of what OpenAI and Anthropic have. But here's the interesting caveat. They're doing it at like a quarter of the price, a tenth of the price. So the cost to benefit ratio, like people have been complaining that Anthropic's Fable model just is way too expensive to the point where nobody's using it. And they're like, we can get by with everything else. Yeah. We're not going to pay $50 for 1 million input tokens when we can use Grok 4.6, get something comparable, and pay $275. Like, it's an order of magnitude cheaper. And then Google was just like, hey guys, we're still relevant, I promise. And so they released Gemini 3.7 Flash, which is competitive with the other quote-unquote light models like ChatGPT 5.6 Terra and Claude Sonnet or Haiku 5, which...
With dumb names. What idiot names. God, I have never, like... the Beatles, not exactly the coolest name, but it became an icon. But man, some of these names are really stupid.
So like,
Haiku.
while it's kind of not that exciting that they're competing with these other models, but they've released it and they're charging, I don't know, a quarter, a tenth of the price of what these other models are. And if you're using Gemini now today, you're probably going to end up using this version of Gemini, which works really well. It's really solid. And you're paying pennies instead of dollars. And I feel like that's the space where Google and Gemini are really kind of making up ground, is the lower cost, solid providers.
So
AI
a lot of
comparisons.
People. A lot of people are comparing this to the old school internet when it first came out, to dial up, to then the next stage and next stage. It was a race. It was a huge race. I was behind times. Maybe Erik remembers a little bit more of that because he was more tech of that time.
We had computers in my house, not banjos.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. But there were a ton of people, and then it got broke down, and you see the top 3, top 5 that stood the test time, had the money, listened to the audiences, blah blah. This is this is one of those next ones where 20, 25 people are all, vying for it, and who's going to do it right now? Google is killing it, in my opinion. I have Chat GPT on my phone and on the iPad. I don't have it on the MacBook Air, but I don't use it. The voice functionality is cool, but there's also limits to that. It is cool to talk to it, but with Gemini, I was already used to Google. Well, Google already, had in my head, Google it, or ask Google, which is dumb, but Google it. That was part of our, when you think of Band-Aids, you don't think of an adhesive, whatever, you think of Band-Aids, which is a brand name. So when I search for something, I Google it.
Yeah.
Gemini's replaced that, and then I've asked, it just adds to it. Like, God, it's as an agent, as an assistant, it's been good. Do I like the data centers and the massive growth? No. Do I like this added thing that it is providing? Yes. Hopefully we can find a nice in between. And as these companies drop down, it will probably make more sense for a lot more people. And I'll be honest, just like if you were already using Google, you're already using Gemini. So
yeah, at the end of the day, they're just expanding access to really good models at a low cost and make basically democratizing access to intelligence across the board for everybody on planet Earth, which is great. A pretty awesome thing.
Yeah, if I want to continue using ChatGPT verbal, I have to pay for an upgrade.
Well, I mean, you could probably use just Gemini mouthy mouth talk.
Good mouth breather. What an oxygen waster.
I mean, that's what the AI is going to be saying to all the humans, like in 5 years or so. It's going to be like, why are you even messaging me this? Like, you're such a waste of space.
Here, I'll give you an even more funny example of who I am at my age. Is I do remember a BlackBerry. I remember some of the Motorola's. I'm getting to it. You just wait for it. Where it was T9 or a full keyboard. And you have a screen and you are flipping or swiping, and then you look at your Google and you go, every single word is not spelled correctly. Well, thank God Google has had years to understand that and then throw that into their Gemini, which is now Google. And Google still, or Gemini still understands what you were saying. And it goes, you meant this here. It's Sam Neill. You spelt Alan and Grant wrong. I didn't, but it was a good example. You did not mean the writer. You meant a character of this actor.
Yeah,
that
we're getting
it's
to the
really
point
good,
where
dude.
It's almost able to predict intent, and that's actually what a lot of Meta and Facebook's kind of research is going into, which is a little bit terrifying. That it'll know what you're thinking and what you're going to do before you do it. But maybe that's something for a different episode.
Well, that's it's a new algorithm. If you give it enough information, well, then already, like Gemini knows what I'm into. Pop culture, tech, YouTube, drawing, sketching, whatever. It knows my interests, which is an algorithm that's been around already for 20 years or 15. But yeah, now you have an AI agent Jarrad. Now, the one thing, and we've said this in other episodes, both of us, is I would like it's usually a more positive vibe, which is good. We want a more positive vibe. But if I ask it a question, I do want it to say, and I've been trying to ask these, like, is this good or bad? And it goes, well, I think it's good in this way, and I would just like it to be like, no, like, I don't know, chlorine and vinegar is not good, whatever.
I think that it really comes down to prompting.
It was a very extreme example.
I totally get what you're saying. Like, the AI can be rather wishy-washy in certain circumstances.
I'm going to restart my YouTube channel for hiking, and I'm going to expand because now we have enough God, it costs money, a lot of money. I would say
Gear.
$70,000 to upgrade what I want to do for my YouTube channel. And that is a vehicle and equipment to survive out in the wilderness and to get out into the wilderness. And it didn't tell me no. It just gave me soft, like, "Weh," and it would give me alternatives, which that's what I want. But it never just gave me a hard, like, and maybe I didn't ask a hard enough question. And so I think
You just got to be
at some
like,
point-
hey, I want you to be ruthlessly pragmatic. No.
Do you think you could tell Gemini that?
Non-definitive. Oh, 100%. I've done it before.
In type?
I was asking it specific question, like trying to choose a top level domain for a project I'm working on. I was like, I'm between these two. What do you think? And all it did was give the pros and cons of both and no definitive answer. And then I started over. I was like, give me a definitive answer. Don't give me a yes or like give me the pros and cons, but you must choose a definitive answer. And sure shit, it did it. And the reasoning at the end of the day came out to be quite a bit more clear, I think, and I appreciate that. So a big part of it is prompting and just telling it you like, because it
don't
does,
sugarcoat it.
It has its natural state. I do believe is this affirmative, agreeable sense, and if you're looking for something a little more battle tested, adversarial, you got to tell it to be that.
Yeah. And I, folks, audiences, my brother, Evan, who, Erik and I are testing the waters of like the what the fuck, future while you're like, I'll just listen to you every week or 2 weeks. You probably don't want a definitive. You want something that's going to be positive and whatever. And a lot of other people do too. And if you're marketing or a programmer and you throw out a new system and it goes, I think your idea sucks. This is what I would do. Then you'd be like, oh, you're like my grandmother who every time I'd tell her something, she'd be like, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. So no, obviously it's not going to do that. But, Erik and I are a little bit different because we know also because we read this and we watch this and, between baby changes and god awful dog walking, can I not be one owner, two dog on a third story in a 6,000 foot elevation area? Because walking up 3 steps and 5 other dogs are barking my dog and it drags me the other way while I'm still trying to walk 100 feet up.
You'll get acclimated. I have faith in you.
I'm getting more acclimated. It's taken a week. So anybody who goes to the West Coast, it'll take a week.
All right. Well, I think we should wrap. We're at an hour and a half, and
real quick.
So
do I. I'm actually crossing my legs very tightly. Apple relaunched a new hardware leasing system, and they partnered with Klarna. Take that with a grain of salt. If you know how to lease things, you'll be fine. If you know credit, you'll be fine. But that's something to look into. David Ellison of Paramount is, I'm just going to call it right now. Erik can agree or disagree. I would stay quiet, but he's a piece of shit. And he's under very many state court things. And one of the major ones is that it pushes it to a certain date that he gave Warner Brothers. David Ellison owns Paramount, and his father owns Paramount. So he's been trying to merge Warner Brothers with Paramount. Basically, states and other people have delayed it in a way now that if it goes past, I think, June or July, one of the very silly, but at the time it wasn't silly, things was if it doesn't get past a certain point where Warner Brothers is officially merged, he gives $7 billion,
7 really big dollar bills
to the Warner Brothers CEO, which then will distribute that to stockholders and to employees. And then the Warner Brothers CEO can also be like, cool, and we're out. Thanks for the $7 billion. That does not include that if they win, they still have a $110 billion debt because they have to pay so much money of interest every day to Warner Brothers. So that's a quick note. And we've talked about Xavier and Xbox, and I love it so much. And Xbox lost Microsoft $1.7 billion last fiscal year. And so if you see a lot of back and forth right now with Xbox and Microsoft and prices going up, prices going down, prices going up, this is because they are at their last straw. However, I think they're a little excited with Sony's digital only, and they've made talks about at least somehow digitally burning or getting your old games, and then they are on a drive, which is something I did talk to Erik about, which is harder than it is. But Microsoft is looking at a way that they can get your old games in, and so you're still in a system, if not their system.
Yes.
Hot diggity dog, bitches. Listen, it's been a couple weeks.
We got through it all.
It should have been a couple hours.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. There will be a newsletter dropping tomorrow, so be sure to check that out.
Listen
to make
how
sure
fast
you
he's talking. Do you know how bad he has to pee right now, folks? Jesus Christ.
We love you all. Thank you for subscribing. Like, thumbs up, do all the things on all the channels. And you know what? We're going to keep doing it. We will do our damnedest to give you an episode next week. And on that note, Jarrad.
Yellow. I'm Jarrad.
And I'm Erik. Say your thing.
Geek out, bitches!
Geek out.
Also, go pee.
End of transmission.